Hey lacrosse fans, welcome into another matchup preview. Olivia Becker joined by Patrick Strawn, and we're going to talk a little about lacrosse, the last three games they had over spring break and just how they did on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the last three games obviously kind of showed the strength and depth of this team, taking on West Virginia and Morgantown, then traveling all the way up to Michigan to take on two ranked teams in Davenport and the defending champs, Michigan State. And Flames were able to do what they've done all season, get 3 wins, and it was actually pretty special for them to just not only go into hostile territory at all 3 events, but just showcasing, as we said, that offense, great sound defensive play, and then getting the job done, continuing with getting 3 more wins on their undefeated season.
And you touched a little bit on Michigan State, but they actually beat the reigning national champions.
Yeah.
So how big of a win was that for the Flames?
Well, I think it's a big one because anytime you're able to defeat the defending champs, it's obviously good to generate, just as we've been saying throughout the rest of the previews, it's momentum. And that's all it is. I mean, the Flames have been really just building on to what could be a very special season for the Liberty lacrosse program. And obviously, they've been doing an excellent job taking on not only good quality opponents, but even more so, been able to defeat a lot of ranked opponents so far this season. And I think that just bodes well, not only building confidence, but as I keep saying, just that momentum that they're trying to generate, especially as Mike Zabano touched on it. They're in a bit of their gauntlet right now as they're continuing dealing with other ranked opponents, and obviously, yeah, you want to just continue to keep everything going. And as he said, like they got things to continue to work on, but it's good to see where they've already started. As it's an impressive 7-0 start.
Yeah, 7-0 in the season, which is actually the best start that the Flames D1 team has ever had in history. What do you think is the most impressive about their season so far?
Well, I think what's so impressive is obviously the caliber of opponents that they've been able to not only go against, but then kind of take down because, as we've just said, they've been playing a lot of ranked opponents. And obviously the biggest thing that's also impressive, just how balanced they've been on both sides of the field. I mean, obviously defensively, they've been fairly sound. Obviously, Harriman's really done an excellent job honing the net, and then obviously the long poles in front of them, they've been doing excellent work helping them out. Headlined by 2 captains in White and McKeever. Also, can't forget about Tyler Keene. All 3 of those guys, you got to think are going to be all SCLC before the year's done. But then even also the guys up front. I mean, we talked on it earlier this week. I mean, whenever you're able to have so much depth offensively, it really does make it harder on the opposition to really kind of game plan for you, because it's not just one guy getting the job done or 2 or 3. It's so many different guys across the board that are really just propelling this Flames offense. And I think that's been the difference maker for them as well, because they're able to not only maintain offensive own possession, but then when they're able to do it, they're able to make teams pay as they're able to put the ball in the back of the net. And they've been doing it at a high rate, being one of the best offenses, not just in the conference, but also in all of the MCLA.
And with them having a very well-rounded team going into this weekend, the battle for Baltimore, they're playing Oregon and Northeastern. How do you think their well-rounded team is going to help going into those games?
Well, I think it's about kind of not getting complacent and also not thinking that you guys have arrived yet, because obviously there's still a lot of lacrosse to be played here throughout the rest of the season. And 2 good quality opponents in Northeastern Oregon who would love to be the first loss on your season. So obviously that's what they're aiming for, and they're aiming also to better themselves because they're being lower in the rankings. They would love to knock off a top 10 team because that would just boost their case and candidacy of why they should make the national tournament if they're not able to win their conference. So I think for the Flames, they just got to continue to do what they've been doing. Obviously, you want to continue to showcase that offense, play sound defensively, and it all starts in the faceoff circle. If you're able to win that, and then it kind of helps you being able to dictate the pace of the game. And I think the Flames have been able to do an excellent job winning most of their faceoffs throughout this season, and with rotating the guys that they've been able to work through that part. And then also just continue to get the job done offensively, continue to cycle the ball around, and then use those game breakers that you've been able to have all season long. And I think it will pay dividends for them.
Well, Pat, thanks for your insight as always. Make sure you guys tune in to the website and social media to follow the Flames and see everything they're doing on the road. Until next time, I'm Olivia Becker, Patrick Strawn.